Hello and welcome to our channel. A Legend of the Northland. Summary. A Legend of the Northland is a ballad by Fove Carey that tells the story of an old woman who is punished by Saint Peter for her selfishness and greed. And the poem is set in the cold northern regions where the days are short and the winters are long. One day, Saint Peter, hungry from fasting, visits a cottage where a woman is baking cakes. He asks her for a small piece of food, but the woman, feeling that the cakes are too large to give away, keeps making smaller ones until she can't part with any of them. Saint Peter, angry at his at her greed, condemns her to a life of hardship. He transforms her into a woodpecker, a bird that most bore into trees all day for food. The woman retains a scarlet cap, but the rest of her body is burnt black as coal. She continues to live in the trees, boring for food as a punishment for her selfishness. The poem ends with the image of the woman as a woodpecker still living in the forest. The poem teaches a lesson about the consequences of selfishness and greed. Now, in details. A Legend of the Northland is a ballad written by Fove Carey. It tells the story of a selfish woman who is punished for her greed by Saint Peter. The poem is set in a cold northern land where the days are very short and the nights are long, especially during winter. In this land, people use reindeer to pull sledges through the snow, and children wear warm, furry clothes to protect themselves from the cold. The story begins with Saint Peter traveling on earth, preaching to people. One day, he arrives at a cottage where an old woman is baking cakes. Saint Peter, who is hungry from fasting, asks the woman for a piece of cake. The woman, however, does not want to share. She bakes a small cake but feels it is too big to give away. So she makes a smaller one. But when she looks at the second cake, she thinks it is still too large. So she makes an even smaller one. In the end, she bakes a tiny piece of dough, but she still refuses to give it to the Saint Peter, saying it is too small to share. Saint Peter becomes angry because the woman is selfish and unwilling to share even a little food with someone in need. He punishes her by turning her into a woodpecker. From then on, the woman must spend her days drilling into trees for food, just like a woodpecker does. Her clothes are burned black, but she still keeps a red cap on her head. The woman lives in the trees, boring holes into the wood for food, and this is her punishment for being selfish. The poem teaches a moral lesson that is, greed and selfishness can lead to consequences. The woman's refusal to share even a little bit of food with Saint Peter results in her transformation into a bird, and she is left to live a hard life forever. Thank you very much.